Chapter 1. It was there, when I opened my eyes, that vague feeling of discomfort, the rocking of the boat signalling the receding tide and the wind from the south, blowing upriver right into the side of the boat. For a long while I lay in bed, the sound of the waves slapping against the hull next to my head, echoing through the steel and dulled by the wooden siding. The duvet was warm, and it was easy to stay there, the rectangle of skylight directly above showing the blackness turning to dark blue and grey, and then I could see the clouds scudding overhead, giving the odd impression of moving at speed, the boat moving rather than the clouds. And then that discomfort again. It wasn't seasickness or river sickness for that matter. I was used to it now, nearly 5 months after I'd left London. 5 months living aboard. There was still a momentary shock when my feet hit the solid ground of the path to the parking lot, a few wobbly steps, but it was never long before I felt steady again. It was a grey sort of a day, not ideal for the get-together later, but that was my own fault for planning a party in September. Back to school weather, the wind whistling across the deck when I got up and put my head out of the wheelhouse. No, it wasn't the tide, or the thought of the mismatched group of people who'd be descending on my boat later today. There was something else. I felt as though someone had rubbed my fur the wrong way. The plan for the day: finish the rest of the wood siding for the second room, the room that was going to be a guest bedroom at some point in the future. Clear away all the carpentry tools and store them in the bow. Sweep out the boat, clean up a bit, then see if I could bum a ride to the store for party food and beer. There was one wall left to do, an odd shape, which was why I'd left it till last. The room was full of sawdust and wood remnants, scraps of edging and sandpaper. I'd done the measurements last night, but now, frowning at the piece of paper, I decided to recheck it all, just to be on the safe side. When I had sided the galley, I'd ended up wasting a load of wood because I'd misread my own measurements. I put the radio on, turned up loud enough even though I still couldn't hear it above the mitre saw, and got to work. At 9, I stopped and went back through to the galley for a coffee. I filled the kettle and put it on the gas burner. The boat was a mess. It was only occasionally that I noticed it. Glancing around, I scanned last night's takeout containers hurriedly shoved into a shopping bag, ready to go out to the garbage cans. Dirty dishes in the sink, pans and other items in boxes, sitting on one of the dinette seats waiting to be put away, now that I had finally installed cabinet doors in the galley. A black plastic bag of fabric that would one day be curtains and cushion covers. None of it mattered when I was the only one in here, but in a few hours' time this boat would be full of people, and I'd promised them that the renovations were almost complete. Almost complete? That was stretching the truth a little thin. I had finished the bedroom, and the living room wasn't bad. The galley was done too, but needed cleaning and tidying. The bathroom was, well, the kindest thing that could be said about it was that it was functional. As for the rest of it, the vast space in the bow that would one day be a bigger bathroom with a bath, as well as a true shower instead of a hose, a wide deck garden area with a sliding glass roof, an ambitious plan, but I'd seen one in a magazine and it looked so fantastic that it was the one project I was determined to complete. And maybe a study or an office or another unnamed room that would be wonderful and cosy and magical. For the moment, it worked as storage. The kettle started a low whistle, and I rinsed a mug under the tap and spooned in some instant coffee, 2 spoons. I needed the caffeine. A pair of boots crossed my field of vision through the porthole, level with the dock outside, shortly followed by a call from the deck. "Genevieve! Down here! Kettle's just boiled." Moments later, Joanna trotted down the steps and into the main cabin. She was dressed in a miniskirt, with thick socks and heavy boots, the laces trailing on the ends of her skinny legs. The top half of her was counterbalanced by one of Liam's sweaters, a navy blue one flecked with bits of sawdust and twig and cat hair. Her hair was a tangle of curls and waves of various colours. "No, thanks, not for me. We're off in a minute. I just came to ask what time we should come over later, and do you want us to bring a lasagna as well as the cheesecake? And Liam says he's got some beers left over from the barbecue. He'll be bringing those." She had a bruise on her cheek. Joanna didn't wear makeup, wouldn't have known what to do with it.